at these gentlemen. Look at this. This is police, not soldiers. The police, they got camo gear because they're in the snow to make sure that you don't get to see them, but they get to see you. And the weapons they're carrying, oh my god, this looks like a machine gun. Any American in the chat that knows their weapons, tell me what this is. It looks painful. It looks like something that you use to suppress the enemy. It goes like, and the enemy goes like, oh, hit the deck, right? Who are they fighting, though? Like, who is this for? Because I understand, like, the American wisdom, the liberal philosophy. Why do you need that? Why do you need assault weapons? Why? I don't know if this is an assault weapon, though, because it looks like a firm emplacement. Like, you placed in the ground and you stand still, and the enemy comes at you. So maybe, like, this is a defense weapon. It's not the full semi-automatic. It's just the stand-o-matic. You stand and... Who are they fighting? Zombies? It's a very interesting question, right? Like, these are the police officers. Like, why do you need an assault rifle? Why the fuck do they need this? The people at Davos. The people at Davos, which are planning the future. That's what they said. It's like, in order to create the narrative for the future, you need to plan, and then you can execute the future. It's like, okay, but can you plan and execute it without making people feel uncomfortable? These are the gentlemen which intimidated journalists a couple of weeks ago. And since that day, a lot of people started looking into it. Turns out they also have the World Economic Forum badge, right? So a lot of people started asking questions. And when you ask questions, there are people to help you think on the internet. These are the fact checkers. And we got Reuters to help us think, because we are incapable of thinking for ourselves. Now, I remember that there are people from the World Economic Forums that have stocks in Reuters. Some might say this is a conflict of interest, but they would never. They would never, right? I mean, they are only seeking the truth. They're not seeking where the money is coming from. So, fact check. The World Economic Forum does not have a police force. Social media users have falsely claimed that the World Economic Forum has its own police force after officers in Davos were spotted wearing badges with the WEF logo during the organization's annual meeting. So in other words, this is how the police badge looks like. World Economic Forum police. It's on the fucking badge. It is on the fucking badge. World Economic Forum police. But my eyes deceive me because the fact checkers will tell me the truth. Apparently, thousands of people have shared this misinformation that is very harmful for our democracy, asking why American journalist Jack Posobiec detained at the Davos by the WEF police. Why does the WEF have a police? This appears to be intentional intimidation tactics and shouldn't have happened. One has an orange insignia and the wording World Economic Forum police. This should freak everyone out, says one Facebook user. A private organization, the World Economic Forum, has its own police force. This organization is not a government, but they should act like it. Where is their authority recognized? What authority do they have? Well, that's simple. The authority of money. Right? If you're rich enough and you can afford a $100,000 ticket to go to Davos, you too can be treated like a human being. The World Economic Forum is holding its annual Davos meeting between May 22 and 24, where this year many of its attendees are worried about the current threats to the global economy. Oh, maybe this is why they need to have such strong police. I mean, after they fuck the economy, because again, it's the people in charge that go there. After they fuck the economy, they need those individuals to keep them safe. Probably why. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Please don't fact check me, Reuters. Or, you know what? Maybe Reuters can invent the speculation fact check. It's like he speculated, debunked. The police in the Graubünden canton, where Davos is located, told Reuters that the WEF police badge is an additional one redesigned every year by the region's own emergency services. This serves the team spirit for use around the annual meeting. So when they're with their heavy machine guns and their sniper rifles and all of that, they also need their team spirit to be lifted. It's like, hey, we're part of the World Economic Forum, huh? The richest people in the world have hired us. The WEF organization does not have a police force. Moreover, the close-up picture of the officer's sleeve shown to have a second badge representing the Groundbunden Security Service. Badges marking the WEF annual meeting in previous years can also be seen here. So the verdict, debunked. Okay, debunked. Look, fact check, debunked. You see this with your own eyes, like they're having this badge, the police officers at Davos are having this on their chest while they're intimidating journalists carrying heavy machine guns, and it says World Economic Forum, but Reuters, debunked. The WEF does not have a police force. The police badge with the WEF logo are used by local officers in the Groundbunden to mark the organization's annual conference. This article was produced by the Reuters fact-check team. Read more about our fact-check working. I would rather read more on who's funding Reuters, like who owns Reuters. That would be more interesting. And whether or not they attend Davos. But what I love the most about the fact-checking, right? Obviously, the World Economic Forum doesn't have a police force. Everyone understands this. It is a metaphor, Reuters. Journalists, have you ever heard about when you did high school or when you were at journalist school, the concept of a metaphor? Do you know what it means? Oh, well, I guess we fact-check metaphors now. Holy shit. Yeah, like they don't own it. De facto, like legally speaking, they don't have it. But metaphorically, when you have police officers with their badges modified that says the World Economic Forum, it's almost as if it belonged to them. And when you have journalists that are critical of the World Economic Forum being intimidated by that police, do you not see a problem? How many times does this happen, by the way, where you have the police force of a certain municipality change their badges because some private organization is there? Imagine if the police in New York would change their badges to reflect the Trump Tower. Or imagine if, I don't know, even in the UK, in the freaking UK where the cops paint their cars rainbow, they don't have rainbow badges. And like, that's not even an organization. Well, it's like, you know, the badge is supposed to be sacred, I suppose, because people should recognize that that's a police officer. Like, you may actually confuse a person on the street. Like, if a police officer came to me with this shit, I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't do what they're telling me. I would be like, no, I'm calling 911. You're not a police officer. Fuck off. But, you know, like, obviously in Davos, they afford to do this. I don't know why. I guess Davos is very safe, right? Why are they holding this World Economic Forum in Africa, I wonder? Why don't they hold it in Zimbabwe or some other country, you know? Because they're all for diversity and inclusion. Why can't we include the World Economic Forum in Zimbabwe? Very interesting how they choose the safest place in the world to be, right? Not very progressive now, is it? But I love the fact-checking. This is the reason that I'm making the video. This is how they fact-check all the freaking time, right? So, if you read the headline, it's like, oh, the World Economic Forum does not have a police force, which means that these individuals are spreading misinformation. But if you actually read what the article says, it says that, oh, well, metaphorically, it is correct, but it's not legally correct. It's like, yeah, but like, these people aren't saying that, legally speaking, Klaus Schwab has its own police force. No, what he is saying is that he is puppeteering with his money and influence the people at Davos, right? The city council, I guess, in order to subvert their police force and have like this shit. I don't know how else to interpret it. I'm sorry, but like, it is what it is. Imagine if BlizzCon comes to town and then all the police within California have like a BlizzCon badge. It's like, obviously people would be starting to ask questions, right? Let me know what you guys think though, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.